Hello and welcome to what I'm going to call the Goodwood special. I won't bore you with too much right now, but I took a little pocket camera with me and got some footage, so I will join you after you've watched that. Now, I hope you enjoyed that little cinematic. Like I say, it was limited footage I could get. Obviously there was a lot of people and I just had a little pocket camera, but it came out alright. Could have been a lot worse. And I will have to add, the man in the waistcoat with the delightful moustache is actually my dad. I wasn't just following a man around the whole time because he appeared in nearly every clip. But anyway, the car made it there fairly trouble-free, although it is very loud. Like, very loud. Like, I'm not sure you're getting how loud and annoying this car is. But anyway, it drones a bit. It started making me feel sick once we got about 3 hours into the drive, but other than that, it's not that bad. Now, there's a few things I've learned from this to sort out ready for plenty of motoring later in the year, next year, when the sun comes out. Let's say the exhaust drones, so I need to sort that, but a turbo will change that up. The overheating problem. Now, it doesn't overheat, but it doesn't stay cold. As soon as you sit in a little bit of traffic, it then builds up to... There's a delivery driver here. I just look like an idiot sat in a car. I'll be right back. So, the overheating issue is it's not overheating, but as soon as you stop in traffic, it's building up. So, we pulled into a services and it went from the water sitting about 80, 85, went up to 100 within the space of like, 2-3 minutes. Now the fan kicks in at 90, but it brings it down a touch, but not massively. Now it's, I think, to do with the size of the bay and the shape of the bay, because the air intake is obviously right up on the top, and I've got an intake temperature sensor, and you could see the air in the bay went from being about 18 degrees while we're driving to suddenly up to sort of like 40, 45 while we sat there. And like I say, it was a short amount of time. So although it didn't overheat, it was getting hot. So I need to have a little think about that, especially when you start looking down the route of putting the turbo in there and that sort of thing. I obviously need to keep it all as cool as possible in there. So that was one. I will mention again the exhaust. It is horrible, but that's maybe I'm just getting older, because 10 years ago Jack would have been like, nice. I didn't wire up the wipers, so that was fun when it rained. But luckily the wipers on this are engaged with a knob, so you can have just the driver's side, passenger side, whatever. So they're also on a clutch, so they drop down when you undo the open and front window. So I just kept turning the knob to wipe the window with the wiper. Other than that, I don't think there was really any issues. There's a weird noise from the front. I don't know if it's a fixing on a wing or something like that, but that's been making weird noises since I first drove the car. So we chose to ignore that. And the only other thing I can think of, although there was probably more, the only other thing I can think of is the gearbox occasionally makes some funny noises. But I'm pretty sure that used to do that in the MX-5. It's obviously just exaggerated in this because there's no sound deadening or anything like that. And obviously the box is right next to you, so you can just hear it. But it was a pretty successful drive. We got down there in good time. Car sits happy at about 65. Obviously you can blast faster than that if you can put up with the noise. And the brakes, now they are good if you really put your foot down. Now I know I'm not running a servo, but I think either they need bleeding or the bias needs setting up, because they're just not, having no seat belts, I'm not confident enough in the brakes at the moment. So I didn't want to blast too far. We've done a few little childish revs. I'll insert a clip here. And a few, off roundabouts and things, just as much as anyone would. Now, all in all, successful drive, amazing weekend. I'm going to go next year. I think I might try and build an old Rolls Royce or something for next year. Travel down there in a bit more style, and that way we can all go in one car, because Dad they went in their van, and then we went from where we were staying to Goodwood all in this, just so we weren't sort of cramped in on the way there, but handled having the weight of 4 people in fine. But let's take a look around the car, because it got very muddy. Now it's cleaned off a little bit now, but it got very muddy. So there you have it, a little vlog about Goodwood and Revival. Car made it, so that's a bonus. There is the new t-shirts on the website now. A few of you said about them in the last lot of comments, so they're on there now. I'll put, here they are. And use the code YouTube. Or it might be YouTube 10. There's a code. I'll put that on the screen as well. That's 10% off for you lot.
The code's up here.
Oh, it's going to be really hard to put that up there now. But next week's video is going to be what was planned for this week, which will be the rollers, etc. Cinematic, lovely bougie film of the Austin. And then after that, we're going straight into the bagged and body drop Navara, along with a few other things. But we're just going to keep going weekly, week by week.
You've got to finish the Land Rover first.
Chris has got to finish the Land Rover first. That's them shit jobs I swore. It's them shit jobs I don't want to do. So here's your... Yeah, he beeped that out. But anyway, we will see you again this time next... Well, Sunday, actually. I think we'll aim for Sunday.
Sunday?
Sunday.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday!
I don't know how I feel about this new camera, but it's very strange. But, from me and the Austin...
And me.
And him. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment. Subscribe. See you on the next one. Goodbye.